Being a Man, St. Patrick's Plans, and No Beyonce Fan. Coming up today on The Point.
Excuse me?
Hello and welcome to The Point, the only talk show bringing gay and straight men together to see what happens. Hello, everybody.
Hola, ¿cómo
Hello.
Zayd and Doug are still away, but back with us is Ms. Faye Tality.
Hello.
Glad to be back. Glad to be
Hello,
back.
Faye.
Hey.
You know what? I realized at the end of last week's show, I didn't give you a chance to say, oh, this is how you can find me on
No worry with that.
the
It's okay.
Instagrams and all those. How do people find you?
Oh, it's I'm Faye Tality.
I'm Faye Tality.
Yeah,
I am.
I am.
There's also another person on Instagram that I tagged one day.
Yeah, that's clothing shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Amazing. It wasn't you, though.
No, God, yeah.
We also need to, before we get into it, there's a little thing we need to clear up from last week. The Khalid.
You mean the thing that I was correct about?
Okay, so what is it?
Khalid is an I.
Okay.
DJ Khaled is an E.
This is true.
It's confusing because Khalid sounds like it would be an I. I'm just saying.
It does.
Okay. Talking point number one.
Let's go.
To be a man.
You look cute in that shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I wore this for I don't have a lot of green, but this is for St. Patrick's
Same.
Day.
I just hit my mic.
But let's talk about being a man with Jim Kim.
What?
Hello.
How's
Actually,
it like? What's it like being a man?
How do you find that,
Yeah,
being a
right.
man?
Chatelaine.
There I am. Look.
Yeah, there he is.
Whoa,
In
Who's
the
that?
bottom right.
that's crazy.
Oh, I know him. I know him.
Which is funny that Jim is on the bottom because usually that's Tito. So Chatelaine Magazine.
It's not even accurate.
Chatelaine Magazine partnered
think
with
I do
Abacus
have-
Data to survey 1,000
And him.
men.
And maybe.
Okay, stop looking at the pretty pictures. 1,000 men about what it means to be a man. And Jim, you were part of this.
I was part of this.
How-
I wasn't part of the survey. I was part of the interviews that they did as I guess a supplemental to the survey.
So how did you get in?
Well, I was involved basically is through friend or friend. So my partner Jen actually had worked with the producer of this and saw this posting and just asked if I'd be interested. So
Wow.
I was just like, I emailed them and was just like, I'd like, if you have room, I'd love to be a part of this. And they were like, yeah, for sure.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the more the merrier. So we went down and they basically just interviewed everybody and just rapid fired questions. So you didn't really have time to like try to think too much about it. Like so it was very, at least for me, very truthful. And then after after I said something, I'd be like, ooh, like I wonder how that's gonna be portrayed.
What was the hardest question?
I'm wondering if, well, I think the hardest one was about harassment and whether I was a feminist. So things around that. So I think the big one was, what do you think of sexual harassment against women? And so, or what do you feel? How do you feel? And I was just, and for me, it was
I
just.
practice it as often as
Yeah.
possible. Like, what are you supposed to say?
Well, I think a lot of people are like, oh, it's terrible. And I'm like, it's terrible, but how do I feel about it
I
is
see.
different, right? Like, I know it's terrible, but the thing is like, I've never experienced it. So it's different for me than it is for somebody
Well,
who's
we can
experienced it.
change that if
I'm
you'd
sure
like.
you could. So, like, my initial response was just like I don't really feel anything because I don't know.
Oh.
Like, it's never happened to me. Like, for the person that it's happening to, I'm sure there's a lot of feelings that go with that. But for me, like, I just want to be the person who A, doesn't do it, and will B, support the people that are going through it. But at the same time, it's not about me, right? At that point, like
Interesting.
that isn't about. And that was my take on it. And after like watching everybody else's responses, I was just like, I kind of sound like a dick a bit
don't
for
think
saying
so.
that, but
Do
You
you?
just
well, if you
Set
watch
a
like the whole
different
thing based on everybody else, and they don't play that whole thing, like they just play little clips here and there, but
it made you look like the bad guy.
maybe
On reality TV.
But that to me that's hard, and then like things around that, like the whole Me Too movement was brought up, and that's like really difficult. And other things was like I think another question was just like, do you as a man think your experiences are different? I think or something around that question, and I'm like clearly, because I know now I've lived with my partner for a couple of years and we've been together, and she has definitely experienced things because she's female, where I'm sure I wouldn't even think about that, right? So she's had like men like yell at her, and she's just like, if I was a man, even though it didn't have to necessarily do with gender, but the chances are he wouldn't have been
Right.
so aggressive.
Do you consider yourself a feminist?
I like to think so, but I don't know. I do support equality. I will do what is needed, but at the same time, there's like varying levels, I think, as well. Like I don't know. I would like to say that I think so, but I don't think that's for me to judge. I think
A
that's
feminist
for,
is just anybody who wants equality for both. So everyone should be a feminist. If they're not, they're an asshole.
yeah. If that's if that's the basic, if that's the definition, then yes.
Yeah,
But
it's
I
equality
don't
for
know
all
if that.
sexes.
I think the definition sort of is still in a state of flux.
And I think different people have different definitions. I mean,
Yeah.
do you consider yourself a feminist?
I'd like to think so as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, if that is the definition, then absolutely. I
Yeah. It's
It's
completely
equality
agree
for
with
all
that.
sexes.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
That's what it is, eh? Like that's the.
That's
Beyonce
how I
said it
would-
in a song.
I bet that
so-
makes sense. Yeah.
That's how I would define it. Well, there were a number of interesting questions in the survey. One was, what makes somebody a quote unquote real man? A 50.
A penis.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, but I mean,
that's yeah.
That's questionable now.
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, if you get into
Send your hate to
yeah.
the point.
And gender and stuff
Damn,
like that. Wow.
send your hate mail now.
57% of the men surveyed believe that being a man meant being physically tough.
No.
That's so old school.
It is, but I can understand that as
Yeah.
well. And if you look at the panel, like it is a lot of like there's quite a few people who are at least in their 40s. I think.
Yeah.
So
Physically, I get it.
I feel like
Were they all? I don't know if you would know this, but were they all straight?
no, there's quite a few.
That's what I would
yeah.
think.
Well, 'cause, I know one of the guys here, and he's also a drag queen. So
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And
I
then
think
there's
it's essentially-
also
sorry.
someone. I think she's converting.
Like so
Yeah.
gender nonconforming.
Yeah.
You were gonna say, Ori?
I just completely forgot.
Okay, it's okay. Other things that made the survey: being the breadwinner, 48%.
That's old school.
That's super old
Yeah.
school. Yeah.
Being fair, 31%. Being kind, 29%. Being heterosexual, 28%.
28%.
they were all the heterosexual ones.
Being a
Yeah.
what?
Being heterosexual makes you a quote-unquote real man,
Real man.
according to 28% of the people surveyed by Chatelaine magazine.
Like people actually answered
brutal.
that as an answer.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I think I remember what I was gonna say. I feel like being masculine or being a man is like being comfortable with whoever you are as
Yeah.
whatever you are. You know what I mean? Like that's my definition of it personally.
Being the
What's that
boss,
smile?
It's inspirational.
Being the
You're
boss.
just so adorable.
Oh my God.
being the boss, 22%. Emotional intelligence, 22%. Having a penis,
Shit.
What's the percent on that? What's the percent on that one?
That was
22%.
Wow. You in the
That's
20s?
Tito.
Yeah.
that was a Freudian slip.
I only when I'm feeling fat do I wear a Freudian slip. Having many sexual conquests, 9%.
Wow.
Makes you a real man. Actually, Faye, what do you think of how people answered here? And I mean, as somebody who, as a drag queen, how do you react when you hear some of the ways that people define being a man?
I think it's bullshit, but I mean, no, because not with the whole penis thing, but I mean like the whole idea of just like, oh, you have to be masculine like
Right.
that to be a man. It's not true at all. Well, in my eyes, I mean, like, I don't feel like just your physicality should define how it is to be a man.
Yeah. And that was one of the questions as well, based on like physical attributes, and is there something that you can change? And I do remember that
Having
that was
a beard.
one of my things
Yeah,
growing
I
up
see that.
was that I was very small and skinny, and like I always wanted to be like bigger and more muscular because that's how I perceived masculine, like being a man.
100%.
I see that.
Yeah.
Growing up, I was
Yeah.
the same way.
Now, Justin Trudeau was actually part of this. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, hashtag dreamy Prime Minister. But 37% think Justin Trudeau, 37% think Justin Trudeau is manlier than Donald Trump. 12% called it a tie, and 33% said neither is manly.
So
What is-
Trump
what is
didn't really
manly.
Who cares?
over-manly
Like,
Trudeau.
Why are we?
Trump is not even a
gauging
human being.
manliness?
Well,
Exactly.
I mean,
He's his own
there was a whole
category.
survey about
Yeah.
About that?
what it is to be
a man.
manly, what it is to be a man. I mean, I think it says something that I think Donald Trump would say. I can't believe we're talking about him. Ugh.
Aren't you always
But I
talking about him? I
think-
feel like.
I think Trump would say he
Is the manliest man?
is the manliest
Of
man.
course.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but his mentality is so like old school. That's why.
Right. And I would say Justin Trudeau is the manlier man because he is in touch with
Himself.
and understands himself and is a feminist and has it doesn't have that 50s male mentality, that Mad Men mentality, which was once thought of as being a real man.
Such a good
Yep.
show.
But I don't think it is. Well, also, okay, so they also ask people, how often do you have sex?
Not as often as I'd like.
Weekly at least. Yeah,
Weekly?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you you're like getting married and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've been together for a long time.
Well, usually you think together a long time.
Tito's
ago.
so jealous.
Well, Jim, 23% of people agree with you once a week. 22%
That is a good amount.
22% a few times a week. 19% at least once a month.
Whoa.
It's so funny. A guy at work told me a joke that sounds exactly like this, and then there's one guy who says, "Oh, only once a year." I didn't, and the guy was like, "Oh, that's not that much." He's like, "But this is the day."
Oh. 10% every few months. 6% once a year. 16% not at all.
Wow.
16%.
16%.
Not at all.
And 4% once a day.
Yes, honey.
Once a day.
Once a day. I don't.
Is that necessarily with someone else?
I don't know, but
If it's with yourself.
That seems like a lot of work.
even if
Right?
I
A lot of
could,
preparation for that.
even if I don't have time.
Yeah.
Whatever. Quickies are quickies. Just get it done.
Tito is that 4%.
That's
Yeah, she doesn't have
that's
1%.
Tito's philosophy of life. Quickies are quickies. Just get it done.
Yep. That's gonna be the new.
Hashtag just get it done.
Yeah.
And now it's time for Tito's midpoint.
Get her done.
Get it done.
This week we're playing Brownie Points, so we just scream out the answer, and it is St. Patrick's Day related. Got it? Got it?
Scream it out.
All right. I'm
Scream it out.
waiting.
The anticipation.
We're gonna scream.
Wait, how do you pronounce that
Oh
word?
Lord have mercy.
Leprechaun.
Armagh?
Yeah, that's what I would say. Armagh.
What is an armagh?
Let's do it again.
Find out.
Oh, we're starting again?
No, let's just go.
Yeah. Okay.
Armagh.
Figure it out,
Armagh, the
Tito.
Orchard County is known for which fruit?
Apples.
Correct.
Ding,
an orchard.
Shut up.
Oh.
What lies on top of an Irish coffee?
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
What?
I said Tito.
Foam. Like
Cream.
Whipped
Cream.
cream.
Correct.
Foam?
Yay.
Tito's what?
Tito's cream.
Tito's cream?
Ew.
What traditional instrument does Sharon Corr of the Corrs play?
Fiddle.
Correct.
Hey.
My God.
You Irish?
Are you Irish?
No, it's St. Patrick's Day. I'm just doing everything that's Irish.
Who duetted with Westlife on Against All Odds? She's not Irish.
Westlife? What is that?
Well, that's a
Westlife
boy
is
band. That's an Irish boy band.
Oh.
Avril Lavigne. I have no idea.
How? What? Oh, Sinead O'Connor.
No.
Is she Irish?
She's not Irish, no.
90s. Mariah Carey?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
What?
wow.
What music competition did the priests from Father Ted once enter?
Music?
Music
Polka.
competition. Music competition.
Oh.
America's Got Talent.
Irish Idol?
So you think you can dance?
American Idol.
So you think you can river dance?
Hey. Uh-oh, we broke
No,
Tito.
it's a music competition in Europe that happens.
Oh,
every
Eurovision.
year. Jesus, yes.
Oh, five.
What does the circle in the center of the Celtic cross represent?
The devil.
No. The circle.
Guinness.
Life.
Circle of life.
And the Wheel of Fortune? I don't know.
Beer.
No.
I would think something about, I would actually think it was something related to like life and.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, what gives the earth life?
The sun.
Yes.
Oh.
What gives the earth life?
What character from radio, literary, film, and comic strip has been played by an Englishman, Scotsman, Australian, and Irishman?
James Bond?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, 007.
It's good.
Well done.
Last one, you'll know this one. To make an Irish coffee, what alcohol ingredient would you use?
Whiskey.
Jameson.
Which is?
Whiskey.
Whiskey, yeah.
And we're done.
Hey.
Well, thank you, Tito, for today's Gaelic.
Oh, Fred.
What? The Irish?
No, I
Gaelic.
know. I
That's
know.
good.
It was
That's
just
good. I'll take that one.
you really like went
I
after
love a
the
good
gay
Gaelic.
part of the Gaelic there.
Well, it's Tito. When I think of Tito, I think of Gaelic. And
Oh my
thank you for today's midpoint. And now it's time for talking point number 2, Tide Pod formation. Okay, so you see what I did there?
Yeah.
Fox News commentator Tommy Lahren.
I love her.
Why do you
She
love
has
her?
great
She's
eyes.
so fun.
Well, she can be kind of funny, but she says that the whole trend with teenagers
She hates Beyonce.
eating
You know what?
Tide Pods
Beyonce's
Is that still a
black.
thing?
is in part
Yeah.
because of Beyonce.
She's ridiculous. I don't know where she comes up with her shit, but like she needs to just stop.
Okay, so this is what she said. This is her quote. I know that you're thinking the Tide Pod Challenge couldn't possibly be political, could it? Actually, yes, it is. It's just the latest symptom of a larger problem, the breakdown of the American family. It's what happens when kids aren't taught boundaries, respect, consequences, or logic. The left, which dictates popular culture, brainwashes young people into believing they live in a world where 64 gender options are up for selection, everything is free, Beyonce is a god queen,
Well, yeah.
and eating detergent is funny. Americans, we are better than this. Put down the soap, kids, and get a job.
Wow.
She didn't blame it on Beyonce. You just made that up.
Yeah.
She said that the fact that kids have this idea of what it means.
They're just
and-
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
I agree with the last sentence
Yeah.
that she said. That's it, though.
Put down the soap, kids, and get a job. Yeah. Okay. Somebody younger than me, please explain.
Listen, if
What-
one kid does something
Why?
on social
No.
media and it's funny,
Wait.
okay, all these idiots are gonna follow
Yeah.
along.
Yeah.
No, but it's laundry detergent. Would you take like the liquid detergent and just out of no?
White glue. White glue. When I was a kid, kids were eating white glue. Like that was an issue.
Eating it?
Yeah, you would just unscrew it and put a popsicle stick
Like
in,
on
and
The
you just sit
Simpsons,
there and
the
like
Wiggum kid.
lick and eat
The-
white
yeah,
glue.
the
That
Wiggum
No,
was-
kid.
no, I
Ralph.
know paste. Like kids would eat paste, but it kind of looks
Like
like
Ralph Wiggum.
Ralph Wiggum.
Yeah. So that was
But
the thing.
we're talking
we
about
just
like
didn't.
5-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like the paste.
No, I was a little older than 5.
Oh, did you eat that? Did
I,
you
had,
eat glue?
I would eat glue every once in a while. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
I love sniffing whiteout.
Yeah, okay, I remember that. Yeah.
It smells
And
so
markers.
Yeah,
and
and
things like
Pullman
that, yeah.
Marcos. Stuff
Okay,
like that, yeah.
who still uses whiteout?
Listen,
Ben de la Creme.
I will.
What do you use the?
What?
Sorry, it's a drag race thing.
Oh, okay.
That's so good. Sorry.
But yeah,
No
so
more
I
whiteout.
think the difference is now is that if I had social media when I was a kid, I probably would have been like, had a group of kids and be like, do it, and then have that post right out on social media. Whereas like when I was a kid, you would just have the group saying, do it, and then they'd be like, ew, you're an idiot. And that would be the end of it. But now
it's so
just
big
like,
because
it gets
you want
so
to
big.
post it and you want views and you want likes and you
Yeah.
want everybody to see you do some stupid ass shit.
Yeah.
So definitely not
Exactly.
Beyonce's fault.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Masculinity.
Yeah, we'll blame it all on masculinity.
But but what? Also, she said that
She
people
did
are
say
eating
one thing that was correct. Was about Beyonce being a what?
a god queen.
Yes. That's
But
true.
she's saying because kids believe Beyonce is a god queen,
As they should. They should
not like
grow
Beyonce.
up knowing this.
and we live in a world where there are 64 gender options.
Yeah, it's.
That's a specific
this
number.
is
Right?
why kids
Yeah.
are eating Tide
She,
Pods.
I think that's a stupid
needs to
sort of
stick
argument.
to
Yeah.
She works for
Twitter.
Fox News, correct?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
She needs to stick to Twitter feuds with rappers. That's
Yeah.
what she needs to
Is
do.
that what she does?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I think her and Wally, have a thing.
Wally?
Who's Wally?
yeah.
Oh, Wale.
Yeah.
Wally,
Her and
the
Wally
robot.
I'm like, that could be that
like,
Disney thing.
Whatever. But like they tweet at each other all the time and it's so fun.
Wally and her tweeted each other?
Wale.
Oh, Wale.
It's like
Is he
Khalil.
anything with
There's
DJ
no-
Khaled?
Yeah.
Well, there's no accent on his thing.
Yeah,
That's why.
they keep saying Wall, but they name Wale. That's one of his lyrics.
Whatevs.
Well, actually, you mentioned a drag race. There was something you said
That happened 2 weeks ago.
so you don't care anymore.
Yeah, that's what it is.
She eliminated herself. She went home. Spoiler alert. It's never happened before.
What's never happened before?
She eliminated her own damn self.
Oh, why would you eliminate yourself?
Well, there's.
couldn't cut it.
We can get into.
No,
a
she
whole
was
thing
winning
about-
every challenge.
Why would somebody eliminate themselves?
I think it was
Because they didn't want to eliminate anyone else, or they're trying to eliminate themselves before anyone else got to and go on a high note, as opposed to.
Although really though, she was gonna win it all, so it doesn't really matter.
You never know.
Interesting.
Well, the season of All Stars is.
Well,
How do you know it's All Stars?
Look at you.
I guessed, but I have watched a few episodes
guess
here and there
that?
of RuPaul's Drag Race.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Very fun.
well,
Kimchi,
Right? Kimchi.
Korean for life.
Kimchi.
Tito, Bop of the Week.
Bop of the week this week is Marshmello featuring Anne Marie, and it's called Friends.
It's a great song.
Such a bop.
I don't know that. Although I'm here, like
Isn't that a song with
Marshmallow's a
Selena
great
Gomez?
DJ.
Selena Gomez?
Marshmello. There's more and more like
see, I like
there's
that song.
Marshmello all the time. I
Smells.
like his music because it's very,
Smalls.
it's upbeat and
is.
fluff.
He's great live too.
It's a TJ, like.
No, Marshmello fluff.
Get
Never
it?
mind.
Can't keep up with all these puns.
Dad jokes.
Well, Faye, thank you so much
Yes, thank you,
for
Faye.
coming
Thank you
back
for having
and
me.
Always a
visiting
pleasure.
us
Yeah.
again. Hope to have you back again soon.
Hopefully, maybe.
Oh, maybe. Okay. Okay.
Pencil you in.
You two can work that out. In the meantime, if you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe to us on YouTube. Press the red button. And I'm also told that you have to hit the little bell thing on YouTube so that you get notifications when you subscribe.
Is that what you're told?
That's somebody, a little bird.
What the kids are saying these days.
That's what the kids are saying. Press the red button, then press the bell. Press the bell.
And don't eat Tide Pods.
And don't eat Tide Pods. You can also, that was a bad bell.
Yep.
You can also check us out on Reverie, the world's largest online LGBTQ streaming service. Check us out as well as all of their great original content at reverie.tv. We also have the audio podcast, so you can take us with you in your ears on iTunes. Search for us there. You can also help us out by going to our crowdfunding site. That's on Patreon, patreon.com/thepointguys. As always, you can tell us whatever you think about whatever we talked about on the show, or just, yell at Tito. thepointguys@gmail.com. You can also look
so
for
much
us
hate.
on Facebook and Twitter at thepointguys. Thank you once again, Faye.
Thank you for having me.
We love having you here. It's been too long. Thank you, everybody else. We have a new show every Tuesday, so we will
See you next Tuesday.
On the point.
Fail.
Bad toss.
That was a bad toss.